at university, I interned at Warner Music Group. Everybody knows this. One of the people who came and spoke to us, the intern class, was the guy whose whole job was comebacks. Okay, he's like, if you want to come back, I'm your guy.
Oh, I thought you meant he's the guy who does like the witty riposte at the office. He's like, okay, so what you gotta say is you gotta say
your mom.
No, your mom's ass.
He came up with your mom, and that's what she said.
He came up with your mom. Anyone alive actually has him to thank.
It would be very amusing if his office was just on a nearby staircase.
Yeah. This is a very quick sidebar, but once
I'll allow it.
Once a friend of the show, Nate, when he was like a teenager, was his mom took him to the supermarket and she asked him to like run in and get something. And so like the school bully was also there, who was like several years older, and like shoved him into like a rack of stuff and went like, your mom. And then he came out, and then she was like, what took you so long in there? And he explained the story, and she just went, what does he mean, me? Which I just think is such a great analysis of that.
What does he mean?
Well, what does he mean?
Yeah. Like she thought she was being referred to rather than it being a
So funny.
Anyway, that was the comebacks guy.
Okay, the comebacks guy, right? And he had like comes back under his belt. So like his most recent at the time comeback was Train, because Train was a band in the early 2000s who did like soft rock, who like
Drops of
Jupiter in the air. Oh, guys, honestly, Warner
so popular as a wedding first dance, despite it being about a dead mum.
Back in the atmosphere.
This is pre-Hey Soul Sister?
Yeah.
So
so they disappeared.
Oh, shit.
And then they come back on the scene with Hey Soul Sister.
But that's not the song from Moulin Rouge.
No.
No.
That's
You're thinking of Hey Sister, Soul Sister.
I know that one.
Gotta get that flow, sister. Yeah, different song.
I don't particularly like it.
You
but I
don't
know
perceive rhythm.
There was like
that.
It's so funny, like the words are the same, so you can't tell the difference. You have like color blindness, but for music.
You know I don't like songs with words.
Yeah, and yet the words are the only part you can understand.
Well, I just again the under other bits are sort of they're just not for me. All right, it's just I don't hate the things that aren't for me. I just decide they're not for me. But please continue.
Well, about 10 years after Drops of Jupiter, this guy's like, we got to put Train back on the map. He produces Hey Soul Sister. Fucking hell, the motherfuckers are back to the point where they launch a wine and a mobile game.
What?
I'm serious.
Train
wine.
Train wine.
He's responsible for a bigger train comeback than Xi Jinping.
Train band wine or Train band winery?
Train band wine, maybe. You guys continue. I'm gonna do this.
Save me San Francisco Co.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
You guys continue here.
I'm just
I'll
gonna
come
finish
back when I
this.
have something.
Okay, fantastic.
What is
Yeah.
the strategy behind Hey Soul Sister? Like, how did he figure out that was the song?
I think it was more of the sound, right? Because like Drops of Jupiter is very early 2000s, right? It's almost akin to I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, right? It was like a soft rock moment. Whereas Hey Soul Sister is much more folky, which was like in 2010 was having its moment with like Mumford and Sons and shit.
God,
right?
that was such a bad era of music.
Okay,
Yeah.
question, how could 9 people in a band make money from a performance if it's split 9 ways? Anyways, basically, and then he's like, but my like crown jewel is the fact that in the 80s, I believe, and earlier, a guitarist called Carlos Santana, music royalty, Grammy winner, was huge. Then he disappeared.
Yeah.
And then he comes back with an album. Oh my God. 1999 and 2000, that's the only thing you could hear on the radio. He basically does a genius thing where he collaborates with different vocalists. So he like plays this amazing guitar, but instead of just being instrumental, Riley has left the studio.
My mother is here.
Aww. Ask her about
that's
Carlos
lovely.
Santana.
You're a mom. What does he mean, me? Yeah.
And so he has like all these vocalists do songs. The songs are amazing. The biggest one is Smooth with Rob Thomas, the lead singer of Matchbox 20, a famed Scientologist and at the time, very famous guy, okay? So having Rob Thomas on your track, already huge. And so, and it's a crossover success because kids love it, but also older people love it because they remember Carlos Santana from the 80s. And basically this album was everything. I think it like went multi-platinum and I'm pretty sure it got him more Grammys. And that was like one of the greatest comebacks in history.